Hi guys, this is John Harrop from aptistutor.com, and today we're going to look at a really good way to help you record and remember vocabulary. Vocabulary is one thing that students worry about, and how they can remember so many new words. So with that in mind, I'm going to explain to you how to make mind maps so that you can record and revise your vocabulary easily. The theme I've chosen is accommodation, and that's because this comes up quite often in Aptis exams. Normally it's something to do with school trips or your holidays or where you went last year. It's also useful for the writing part of the exam too, and not just the speaking. Okay, so let's jump right in, and I'm going to talk through what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll start with accommodation in the middle. And normally with words that are this long, I like to put where the main stress is. So in this case it's accommodation, and again that just helps you remember where the stress is just at a glance. Let's put a circle around that, and probably we'll start off with, say, house. And we'll think of some adjectives or collocations or some ideas to go with house. Normally these are useful for things like picture description. So let's start with terraced. Okay, remember the ed ending in this is a t, and the terraced houses are those where you get this row of houses all next to each other. Okay, a picture doesn't have to be a work of art, but just something to give you an idea. Okay, okay, so that's, and then here, as I said, these are a row of houses. I think that's quite an interesting phrase. Let's put that in too. And be careful with this row, the pronunciation. Okay, if you don't know the phonetic alphabet, then invent your own. Well, we do recommend that you try to learn it, but if not, have something in there to remind you how to pronounce the words. Okay, so these are all the houses that are next to each other, and then when there's only two, we talk about semi-detached. That's two houses, and another two houses, and another two houses, and again it's the ed ending is to this. And finally the houses that are individual, you don't have any neighbours, these are detached houses. Okay, so again there's no translation here. Using the pictures is really helpful. Let's put that. Okay, let's go on to flat or apartment in US English. So let's just put UK. Okay, so Again, I put the countries in just to help me remember. So let's think of some collocations. So we talk about studio flats, luxury flats. We might say posh too, but that's informal and probably wouldn't be written. Also, you could have a basement flat, ground, first, second, floor flat. Okay, to say where it is, maybe about the size too. Often we talk about when the flat's really small, we say it's tiny. And sort of the same was when the flat's really small, but negative is pokey. So let's put so the connotation there that it's not a very comfortable place to live. Let's think of some others. Okay, let's say others. Let's just have others. So let's think about some other different types of accommodation that there are. So you've got bungalows. These are all on one level and don't have any stairs. Just to cottage. Very often these are very small houses that you find in the country. Okay, let's do the phonetics for that too. Some people don't live in houses at all, but in houseboats, or maybe a mobile home, or a caravan. Okay, these are very similar. The difference is your caravan. I reckon we can draw a picture for this. Again, just keep your pictures simple. Usually the caravan can be attached to the back of a car. Let's have a think. Bungalow. Okay. So let's have a think of what else we can break accommodation into. Yeah, we can also break it into maybe temporary. That's a good So think about lots of temporary accommodations. So there's things like hotels, motel. There's a hotel on the motorway, bed and breakfast. These are usually they're very small hotels, and they provide, as I explained, a bed and breakfast. Hostel. These are usually the cheapest type of accommodation because you have shared accommodation and you sleep in a dormitory. That's a good phrase here. So rather than just you in a room, you'll find lots of beds to sleep in. Hey. Yeah, and the type of beds are bunk beds. Usually these are, let's see if I can draw one. A bit bigger, yeah. This is when you get two beds on top of each other. Okay, maybe let's think about a few verbs associated with accommodation. We don't have a lot of space. Let's use a different colour to make it a bit more visually interesting. Yeah. So you can to arrive, the opposite, to depart, maybe in the hotel, to check in and check out. What else? Okay, this is a good one, to put someone up. This is when somebody comes to stay with you and stay at your flat or apartment or house or wherever you live. To help you remember, try to put the phrase in context, make it real for you. So I put Tim up for 2 weeks last July. Okay, and that's sort of true for me. Let's put EG. And putting the verb in context and making it true for you helps you remember it. Okay, let's just go to the hotel. This type of rooms you can have in the hotel. You can have a single room with one bed, twin room has 2 beds, and the double room has 1 bed for 2 people. Let's draw a couple of beds, so they're not very good beds. Okay, that's just to give you an idea. Okay, and what you can do later on, you can come back and you can add more information to the mind map. Okay, well, hope that's been useful. So we hope you found the video useful. Remember, there is lots more information on our website, www.aptistutor.com. If you haven't already done so, remember to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any updates. Okay, take care and stay safe.